Thank you, Poly students, for coming to help us today.
Hi everybody, this is Avila and this is Ag Time. We're going to watch Dr. Sabol teaches apple grafting. Check this out.
No! Don't clap for them for missing class. But we appreciate them anyway, don't we? Thank you, Cal Poly. You can stay right there. The next group of people are not students here at Cal Poly, but they're people in the community who grow apples in their backyard. They're members of the California Rare Fruit Growers, and they like to graft apples, and they're going to introduce themselves the same way, their name, where they came from, and what their favorite fruit is that they might have in their backyard. Jim?
I'm Jim Butterbush. I came from Arroyo Grande. You all know where that's at, right?
Yes.
My favorite fruit is a Braeburn apple.
Braeburn apple.
Yes.
Give him one clap. Thank you, Jim.
Welcome.
I want you to go to the grocery store and start buying more apples. I want you to have a favorite apple. There are many apples in the grocery store. You need to know there are different flavors and different colors in apples. And I want you to have a favorite one. So next time you go to the grocery store, buy one of each color and start tasting the apples, because they do taste different. Okay? So what we're going to do today, we're going to make a different kind of apple. We're going to make a Fuji apple. Some of you will make a Fuji. Do you like Fuji? Say sure.
Sure.
Oh, let's do that again. If you like Fuji, say sure.
Sure.
Fuji is an outstanding apple. It's the #1 apple in California. People love that apple more than any other apple, which is coming along quickly, going to replace it. Honey Crisp. It's right there in second place. So this is a delicious apple. The other half of you in this room will graft a tree called Summerfeld. Have you ever heard of Summerfeld? That's my favorite apple. Sure you remember that. It's the cross between the Gala and the Fuji, remember? Okay, now I want you to think about your own past. If you've ever grafted a tree in your life, if you've ever grafted a tree in your life and had one of these people or some people from Southern California graft a tree with you, well, I want to see your thumb right now. Put your left thumb up. Oh my, keep it up, keep it up. Oh, good deal. Okay, put your thumb down. Thank you. Okay, those of you who've never, ever grafted an apple tree in your life before, will you please stand up right now? We're about ready to leave the room.
It's very much alive. It's happy to be outside because it's been in the refrigerator until yesterday. So it still thinks it's winter time, except now it knows it's supposed to do something special. So we cut the top off of it, but this is a semi-dwarf root, and we're going to graft another tree on top of it. So in a minute, I'm going to excuse you out here. You come to the table, and when you get to the table, you'll see that there's a very sharp knife on your table with a little piece of carpet underneath it. So today we have a couple of rules about our knives. Rule number 1, we'd like you to follow. Rule number 1, we'd like you to put the knife down on the carpet every time you use it. You only have to use the knife a couple of times today, but don't you put it on the tabletop. Please put the blade on the carpet. If you're okay with that, say sure. Sure. Oh, I like this group. They're listening, Sam. Wonderful. Okay, rule number 2 is don't fold the knife. It's a folding knife. It'll fold, but don't you do it. Let these red apron people fold it because they know how to fold it without cutting themselves. You okay with that?
Sure.
Good. Rule number 3 is you have to take a safety pledge. It's called the Cal Poly Apple Grafting Safety Pledge. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me everything I say.
Sure.
I promise. Not to cut myself today.
Not to cut myself today.
Not to cut anybody else today.
Not to cut anybody else today.
To have a very safe day.
Have a very safe day.
We're going to give you a very sharp knife. These are very sharp on one side. They're sharp on the flat side. Now, not sharp on the round side. The round side in the kitchen, that's usually the sharp side. Today, this is a grafting knife, and the sharp part is the flat, straight surface. So we want you to pick up your knife, turn it around a couple of times, then we want you to split this root right in half. Watch how I do it. Hang on tight to your knife. Don't hold your knife like this. Hold your knife like this where you can't see the red handle. Hang on tight. Hang on tight. Put it right on top of this root. Right dead center on top of the center. Put it on top of that root. Then we want you to pound on it with this hand. That's your left hand. Do we have any left-handed people? Oh, good. Will you keep an eye on these left-handed people in the back? We got a different knife for you. No, we don't. You guys switch hands when I say right. Never mind. Right hand, hold tight. Hold tight, pound on it. 1, 2, check your hand. If it's bleeding real bad, what's that mean? You don't know up from down. Put the sharp side down right in the center. Then we want you to hit that. Hit it with your left hand on the palm of your hand. Hit it twice, check your hand. Then the third time we want you to hit it right on top of there, and it's going to go down just like that. It'll stick in there. Hit it right on top of the stump. Don't hit it on the front. Hit it on the top, and it won't go any farther. Now, some of you are going to find you've got a big fat root. Let me show you a big fat root. This is a fat root. If I pound on this fat root with my hand like this, it's going to hurt my hand. So if you have a fat root, you call somebody to help you, and they'll bring a hammer. Call somebody and they'll bring a hammer, and they will hammer it, and they don't bleed. They will pound it down, but you got to tell them when to stop. So you tell them when to stop when that blade goes down twice as deep as it is wide. Stop. When it's gone down twice as deep as the blade is a 1/2 inch. We want you to go 2 times that blade. You tell her to stop. If you have a stem that's a real tiny one like this, you could do it by yourself, or you could ask for some help from a hammer. All you have to do is raise your hand and say, hammer. And these ladies will run to you with a hammer and hammer on there until you're done. Now, thank you very much. The next thing you're going to do is take your knife out of there. Take your knife out, put your hands way down here, pull the knife out, put it back on the piece of carpet. Then, we're going to give you a piece of wood. A piece of wood that's going to go on the top of there. And that piece of wood is going to be your apple tree from now on. What's the name of your tree going to be from now on? Fuji? Say no. No. We want a Sommerfeld apple. Sommerfeld is the best apple in the world because it's the marriage of 2 wonderful apples, Fuji and Gala. Are we doing? Oh, we're doing Fuji. Okay, let's start over again. Hi, my name is Joe Sabol. We're all going to make a Fuji today. Do you like Fuji?
Yes.
I love Fuji. It's a wonderful apple. No, you stay out of this. My assistant just told me I don't remember which one we're doing. Those yo-yos in the other room are going to do Sommerfeld. You're going to do Fuji. So everybody in this room today will make a Fuji apple. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a little tiny piece of wood that we cut from somebody else's tree when it was asleep. We put it in the refrigerator, and we've had it for a long time. Okay? And we just sharpened it this morning and made it perfect, exactly the way we want it. So you don't have to do anything to it except take it and quickly put it in where you split your tree. So it's got a top and a bottom. The top's got yellow paint on it because we painted it. The bottom's been shaved on both sides. So you're going to pick up your little piece of wood, and we call this a scion. Say scion.
Scion.
We take this little piece of scion and we look at it and say, okay, it's got 2 or 3 or 4 buds, and we want them to go up. So this little screwdriver is going to fit down in to that root that you split. Now we don't just stick it in there. We don't just come along and stick it in. We look at this little piece of scion wood and we try to find out which side of that little scion's got the most bark on it. Side A or side B? Side A. Side A's got all kind of bark going down to my fingernail. Side B, we cut too much off. So what we want you to do is find side A and make it absolutely the fat side. That's the fat side, that's the thin side. So when you get yours, you look at it. One side will have brown bark all the way down to my finger. The other side, there's too much taken off. We made them that way on purpose. So you just got to figure out which side's going to face you when you put it inside your root. So look at the fat side, say, hi fat side, and you watch it. And open this up. We're going to help you with our knives. Open it up and we'll slide that in so that you can see side A, the fat side, where all the bark is. I want bark to be on the fat side, on the front side, so I can see it when I push it in. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it down until it's tight. And when it's tight and it's smooth and the bark on the root and the bark on the top are perfectly touching each other. It's like a puzzle piece. So all you got to do is find your piece, stick it in there, and make it fit perfect. Don't put it in the middle. Don't put it in the middle of your root. You put it out toward the edge. So the brown bark on one side is perfect right across that front side. When it's perfect and you're happy, you make one of these red apron people look at it and they will use the word perfect for you. They will give you a blue ribbon if it's perfect. So, do you have a blue ribbon for me? Oh, good. Take this blue ribbon that's white. They got that right away, didn't they? Take your blue ribbon, and then we want you to wrap this. Here's how you wrap it. Start at the bottom where that root stopped, where that split stopped. So go down to the bottom of the split and wrap it twice. They are really tight. Then you can begin to stretch. We want you to stretch that tape and wrap it and wrap it and wrap it and wrap it tight. Don't let go of it. And don't bump this scion. If you bump this scion, your tree will not grow. So wrap it as tight as you can until you get near the end when you've got about 3 or 4 inches left. Then reach underneath there and grab the tail and pull that tail underneath the last wrap, and you're done. Your tree's going to grow. Woo!